All right, so in about the last 5 years of trying to make YouTube a full-time job, I've only missed 2 scheduled upload days and exactly 0 deadlines that involve brand deals. So I guess what I'm saying is that I'm dedicated and I take this very seriously, as anybody would treat their full-time job or any business that they own. So today, I thought it might be interesting for at least some of you if I pull the curtain back a little bit and let you in on a few parts of my day and how I'm able to get everything done as a one-man operation. And just like I talked about in last Monday's video, coming up with creative video ideas twice a week, year after year, consistently is one of the hardest parts about running an active YouTube channel. And I know several guys that have asked me for help and advice when they were starting their channels, but they stopped after maybe a dozen or so videos. This is work. And I would say that if you're not creative, or at least creative enough to come up with your niche and video ideas consistently, I think you're gonna struggle getting your channel off the ground. Now anyway, because today's video is sponsored by Factor, I thought it would be interesting to walk you guys through how this video in particular came to be. And because a lot of what I do is integration style videos where I can integrate a brand into the overall topic of the video. And because I've already worked with Factor a few times in the past, and I've already done videos about working from home and being more productive and how you can be more efficient with your time, I didn't want to recycle that and do all that again. And also because I'm not a fitness or nutrition expert, that angle just doesn't make a whole lot of sense for me because you guys wouldn't believe me. But what I do know is that I use Factor and I love these guys. And it's no secret that I'm not a great cook. And I really don't even enjoy cooking all that much. But of course, I do understand it's a great skill to have for many reasons. But living here by myself, I'm trying to skip all the time and prep and cleaning that comes along with cooking a meal for one. Factor meals are fresh, they're never frozen, and they're absolutely delicious. Literally, I just had the creamy Parmesan chicken, and the whole time I'm sitting there eating it, I just kept thinking that if this same meal was in a nice restaurant, it would be at least 30 bucks. It was really that delicious. And because I'm sort of yo-yoing, but I'm trying to cut a few pounds, I like the calorie smart meals with around 550 calories or less. They've also got some protein plus meals with 30 grams of protein or more per serving. And one of the many cool things that I love about Factor is that they're flexible because I can easily adjust my order size or skip a week if I'm gonna be out of town. And I highly encourage you guys to try this out because they're offering all of you an incredible deal. Just head to factor75.com or click the link down below and use code FASHION50 to get 50% off your first Factor box. That's factor75.com and use code FASHION50 for 50% off your first Factor box. The link is down below, and as always, thank you Factor for supporting my channel and for sponsoring today's video. Okay, now because I was struggling a little bit with finding a topic for this video, I went over to ChatGPT and asked it to give me a couple ideas. It took about 3 or 4 rounds of me giving it different prompts until it gave me something that sort of clicked. So here's a screen grab from what it gave me. My prompt says, using this information, please write 5 more topic ideas that surround daily life about working from home and how to stay motivated, meet deadlines, stay productive, and still maintain a social life. And this is what it spit out, right? Nothing groundbreaking, but what clicked for me was the first one where it says, a day in the life. And then the third one where it says, meeting deadlines like a pro. So basically, with those 2 ideas, we got today's video. Now, I don't really need much to spark an idea, but sometimes when I'm kind of drawing a blank, it's nice to throw something out there and see what comes back. And in this case, the idea about kind of a day in my life was all I needed to get this ball rolling. Now, I like to have my videos done at least 1 week in advance, but unfortunately, I'm a little bit behind on this one, but I can still submit it for approval in plenty of time. Now, another thing that I do, and I've talked about this before in other videos, is most of the time, I write out the entire video script word for word and then read it off a teleprompter that's attached to my camera. Now, I don't always do this, but most of the time I do. And if you can't tell, I'm reading this right now, it's working. I mean, I try to write my scripts exactly how I would normally talk and use words that I would normally say just to make sure everything looks and sounds normal. So this morning, for example, I woke up at about 6 a.m., laid there in bed and surfed my phone for a couple of minutes, rolled out of bed at about 6:30, walked out, made myself some coffee, sat on the couch, watched a little bit of news, and I was in my office at 7:30 writing the script for this video. I also like to use voice dictation when I'm writing, and sometimes everything just pours out of me really fast, and I can get a script done pretty quickly. But other times it might take a few hours to get a script done start to finish. Now, another thing I do is, as I'm writing, I think about extra footage or B-roll that I need to film, specifically for this video to make it more entertaining for you guys to watch. For example, I need footage of me working in my office. I need footage of me eating a factor meal. And I probably need footage of me filming and editing this video. So usually I'm done writing at about noon. So at that point, I'll jump in the shower and then get ready to film. And what I try to do lately, I've been trying to do, is switching up my backgrounds for every video. Because I don't want you guys to get bored of me sitting against the same background in every single video. So I'll try to set up everything in a different location around the house than the last video I made, and then I'll sit down to film. Now, after I'm done filming, I'll download all of the footage from my camera to my computer, then I'll start editing. I work on a PC and I use Adobe Premiere Pro as my editing software. Now, editing can take a few hours depending on the topic and how many video assets I need to download. And on that topic, I have a Canva subscription that I pay for that allows me to download and use all of their photo and all of their video assets. For example, if I'm gonna talk about chopping food, I'll go download a clip of somebody chopping food. And if I'm making a video about dating, I'll go drop in some footage of some happy couple out on a date somewhere. Because without those types of assets, it's just me sitting here talking. You get the idea. And usually how I edit is I'll drop in all of my footage in order on the timeline and then start going through it in order. And for example, if I get to a segment where it would make a lot of sense to drop in footage of like how many hours it takes to edit a video, I'll try to find a time lapse of a clock or something. Now, I don't download all the assets that I need ahead of time, right? Because I don't actually know what I'll need until I start the edit. And when I reach a point where I need something, I'll stop, download it, and then start again. And editing might take between, say, 2 and 4 hours, of course, depending on what I'm doing. But after that, I render out the video, save it to my computer, and then upload it to YouTube as an unlisted file, and then send that link to my manager so he can then send it off to the brand for final approval. And of course, I still need to keyword, make the thumbnail that's hopefully engaging or at least salacious enough for you to want to click on the thumbnail, but otherwise, that's pretty much how it all happens. It's time consuming and I'm a one-man operation right now. I had a video editor about 2 years ago, which was amazing. But because he was halfway around the world, it was hard to communicate when I needed something handled right away or changed quickly. And at some point in the near future, I would love to have another editor that I can trust who's here in the US, and even someone who can maybe help me write scripts, help with my website, my newsletter, and just a bunch of other random things that still need to get done around here. But for the time being, it's just me. And really quick, if you missed this video right here where I show you a bunch of different ways to style sneakers for the daytime and nighttime, please check it out next. And as always, my friends, thank you so much for watching. Live well, and I will see you in the next one.